told me a story one time about having to go save an angler. Who was that?
This was on at a Lead Hill boat dock on Bull Shoals Lake. It's a big, big Highland reservoir up in northwest Arkansas. And I was standing on the dock. I had pulled in and was sitting there talking to several anglers. There was a guy, I believe he was working for Rance Electronics. Best to me, I think his name was Phil Wiedemann. That's the closest I could come. He walked up and he said, you know, there's a fisherman boat upside down out there at the mouth. And I said, what? And he said, I said, upside down. There was only one guy running a fisherman at that time, and it was John Powell. And John was a super angler from Montgomery, Alabama. And he looked like Howdy Doody. If you remember Howdy Doody, my wife would say, she'd walk by and she'd say, howdy, howdy. And, you know, but old John was a great guy. And I said, let's go. And he said, where? And I said, come on. He took off and I jumped in somebody's boat. I don't know who it was. Fired it up, backed it out of the slip, and took off to a no-wake zone and got there. And sure enough, the flotation still had the boat 80% out of the water. And as we pulled up, I looked, and clear impoundment, I saw an arm, a hand, like this. And I screamed as loud as I could scream, John! And I saw his hand just almost disappear. And I screamed again, as hard as I could scream. And his hand came back up, enough where I reached down and I got his hand. Pulled him up, and Wiedemann got a hold of him. And we big, you couldn't pull him anywhere, it was like a whale. But we pulled him to the bank, and he was coughing, going, got him up on the bank, turned him over, and it was cold. And he said, and I looked at us, and I said, what's going on? He said, I heard you holler at me, and I would be able to tell you I was gone. It was my last time to reach up to the surface, and I was going down. And we got him in the boat, we got him back to the marina. And the cabins were right up Lead Hill at that time, or just right up. Walked him up to his room, helped him get off all his old wet clothes, and he sat there on the side of the bed, and he said, he looked at me and he said, if you hadn't screamed, I wouldn't be here now. And he started crying, which is a natural thing. And he said, you saved my life. I know you saved my life by screaming, John. If you'd have said howdy, I'd have never heard you. But anyway, we got the boat in, and I went back over and sat down with him, and we talked a good while. And he said, I don't know what I hit, a wake or something. I don't know what happened. I leaned too far one way, and the boat capsized over. And back then, Fisher-Marine made some nice boats. You bought that company, you remember, years later. But, you know, Fisher. And so, anyway, we got John and got the boat in, got the boat dried out, and he fished the tournament. And the only bad thing about it, he beat me. I saved his life, he beat me. But anyway, those are some of the unbelievable things that happened today, or even back then. We thought we had the best of the best as far as our PFDs, as far as the flotation at our boats, as far as everything we had. And Ray made sure of that our boats were good to go. And we had, back then, we had the state-of-the-art stuff, we thought. But every year, it seemed to get bigger and bigger and better and better. I look at Bass Pro. I remember Johnny called me one time and he said, hey, Daddy gave me the back of a liquor store.